Hollywood Actor Podcast with Kari Nissena, Part 3.
Yeah, those are the easy things we had a Hollywood actor talk to us about. Some people think making the big move to LA, that's easy. Going to a drama school, that's easy. It's all the little things on a daily basis, those little choices that we make all the time throughout our lives that really define who we are.
Yes. How do you structure an actor day if you're your own boss? That's what hardly anybody teaches you. That's what I teach people, but that's hard to get that information usually. It's like, okay, if I have a whole day where I don't have to go to my bartending job, then what am I doing with those 24 hours? Am I just
precious time?
It's precious time. Absolutely. And most people, if you really look at it, it comes down to, I kind of wandered around. I did a little social media. Maybe I did a couple things on my to-do list. And at the end of the day, maybe they put in a half hour, an hour. If they had an acting class, 4 hours. But that's still part-time hobbyist work.
Yeah.
There's a big misconception that you put in part-time and are supposed to become rich and famous. Right?
Yeah.
You do a
How
little
can
bit
that
of work.
be possible?
Yeah, because that's kind of a lie that we're kind of told by Entertainment Tonight or whatever. I love Entertainment Tonight, but I'm just saying we're kind of, when we talk about celebrities, how they broke in, it seems like there's 3 seconds of, and they struggled to audition and didn't get cast, but then someone discovered them and now they're famous. Like it's always like 2 seconds to explain how they broke in, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like wait, back up. Nobody talks about that stuff. It's like, okay, it's really a 30-year overnight success is what it really is.
Exactly.
You know?
And to us, they're skipping over the meat of the story. They're burying the lead.
Right. I get the struggle part and I get the success part, but what about the in-between? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, they showed up one day and then got booked on their series. It's like, yeah, that can happen. But usually what they don't tell you is, okay, they got 3 pilots before that successful pilot. And just to get in the room to be seen for a pilot usually takes tons of guest star and co-star roles and lots of experience, unless it's like a teenager show or, a pretty person show and you happen to be a pretty person or, something like that. But for the majority of actors, it's usually a very long staircase to get to that point.
Yeah, but everybody loves hearing about those overnight sensations.
Yes.
They like manufacturing that idea.
Yes. Yeah, right? Because that's how Hollywood exists, I think.
So silly.
That's why thousands of people get off the bus every day, is because it seems like you just show up and you get an agent and then, yay, you booked one and that's it. Problem solved.
Yeah. But I want the good people to stick around. That's why I like talking to good actors that are going to be here, that are all in, that are going to be successful, that are successful in a lot of senses, because that idea of success is totally different now. It's not being signed with a major studio and working picture after picture. It's not just being the lead in one peak TV series. It's so many different projects, having so many different relationships. And for us to know that, this one thing might not have gone the way we wanted to, or this one thing was successful, but that was 3 years ago. It doesn't mean that you're not successful now. It doesn't mean that you're not on the right path now.
That's so true. We got to stop being so hard on yourself for actors, It's like and it's not usually most people don't have the I have arrived moment. Right? Some people do, but usually it's every successful person, every star that you know of still wants something else. They're still scared to death that they're going to lose it all. It's not like all of a sudden one day you live happily ever after. It's a process, and it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 steps forwards, one, and it goes in waves too. And that's got to be okay. Just to be mentally healthy as an artist, you have to know that that's just a part of the job. It's no big deal.
Exactly. It has to be okay, because that is the reality of who we are on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit more about your programming for the actor transformation, you as an actor coach, and how you work with clients and how clients reach out to you?
Yeah. I have a lot of different things going on. So everybody can follow. I'm working on, I still feel like I'm a beginning baby on YouTube, but I plan to have many, many more videos on the Actor Transformation YouTube channel. And then also I provide content on Instagram and things like that. But as a private client, it's very, very individualized. So now, as when I work with someone privately, I do screen everybody because there's only so much time in the day or the week or the month, right? So it has to be a right match, but I specifically manifest wonderful actors into my coaching practice. And I put that out there that I only want awesome humans because life is too short. So I coach awesome humans that are kind and proactive and are willing to work. That's it. I don't care if they're beginner or advanced. I have taught beginners all the way up to people that you would recognize that I don't mention their names, and then everything in between, because it's one of those things that it's everybody needs help. It's really fascinating. I have some clients that have been in the business for 40, 50 years that our industry was a different planet even 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So they're like used to when it really was that you could just get an agent and then go to auditions and have a career. That's now just a unicorn. That's just a myth now, but there was a time where it was more structured that way. So when they come to me, they're like, oh my gosh, I had no idea how much I needed to do. Like even just on IMDb, I'm known as the IMDb coach. There's not an IMDb profile I've ever seen that I couldn't improve upon, even celebrities, So that's just a good example of people think it's one thing, but there's actually so much more. It's so exciting because there's so many great things to learn and to improve upon, So when someone comes to me and they want help with their IMDb or their online presence, we discuss, first of all, I look at where they're at right now and I Google them and see what's out there in cyberspace about them. But then we go and improve that. So one of the biggest things about the business now versus even 5 years ago is that everybody is looking you up online. So it's now more important than ever, especially if you have like computerophobia, is that if that's not going to work for you, then you just need to delegate. You need to find a coach or you need to find help. It's just that simple. So many people are terrified of social media or terrified of IMDb or terrified of just technology, right? So in that case, there are times you just have to step up and say, okay, so this ain't my thing. This ain't what I'm good at. I need to get help on it, And then sometimes it's a matter of, okay, I love to concentrate with my private clients on doing the stuff that only needs to be done once. Because that feels rewarding and exciting when you can check something off the list, right? Yeah. So there are some things that once you have a killer IMDb, then it's just a little bit of maintenance when you get a new picture or you get a new credit or you get a new piece of press or marketing or new skill or something, then we work on that. But for the most part, once it's done, you can pretty much breathe and move on to a different thing, which is very exciting to me. Most people are not maximizing even just their social media. Like if I go to your Facebook, let's say, they don't have their IMDb link on there, or it's not clickable, or it goes to the wrong place. It's sloppy. It's sloppy work. So when casting directors might look them up, they might think, oh, well, they're not even an actor because they have no proof that they're an actor on their social media. There's no reason to think they would be an actor. And this is a mindset thing, but I think it's really important for actors to know, if you don't like something, like let's say you don't like Twitter, or you don't like Facebook, or you don't like YouTube or Instagram or whatever, it almost doesn't matter. Okay. It's still something that you can do the basics. So at least you look like a professional, because maybe there's a casting director that loves Twitter. I know some casting directors that do casting through Twitter, and because that's their baby, that's their thing that they love. If they go to research you on Twitter and you hate Twitter, and that's your mental state about the reasoning why you don't have a professional looking profile, then that's all they see is, okay, they're not a contender for that thing because I can't even message them there. Okay. So there's a lot of value in just having help with getting all your stuff properly set up the right way. And then you can even leave it alone. So let's just use Twitter as an example. I don't know why, but let's say you get me to fix your Twitter so it looks nice. And then you can even say, oh, by the way, I play on Instagram. That's perfectly a professional thing to say. But you want to have your header and your links and your website and your hashtags and your pin tweet and all of that in your name, for God's sake. Your name needs to make sense and not be some cutesy little crazy thing, So when you're on a red carpet or when you're being interviewed, they can say, oh, great, Bob, where do we reach you? Where can our fans follow you? And they're like, oh, well, I'm Bob Smith at Instagram or whatever, I'm Bob Smith everywhere, so it's important to just have that stuff done. And then you can relax and go on to what you're really good at. A lot of it only takes a little bit of time to really get it done properly. So that's part of what I do. Long-winded answer. But then I also do classes, and I have some free goodies, and everybody should be at actortransformation.com, because I do try to give back to the community and do different kinds of free things for actors. So I have some gifts on there too.
And that's a great platform for you to be able to reach out to people on almost daily basis. It sounds like that you're brushing shoulders with the same actors, with a similar acting community of people that you said are good people, proactive actors that are going to keep pushing themselves and advancing their own agenda, regardless of their peers of the industry. They're just continuing to push forward. How do you do that on a weekly basis outside of your acting coaching? Do you reach out to your local community, or are there some things that help you keep abreast of technology as it's advancing, or are there some hobbies that help ground you?
Gosh, that's a good question. So I think, I'm busy pretty much all the time. Now I'm at a point where luckily I've designed my career so that people are coming to me, which is a great thing, So even auditions, I'm being more selective and I'll do stuff for friends and things like that. But I've taken a step back because I've paid my dues, a million times over, that sure. I'm a little bit done with the paying the dues type of projects. So, and then as a coach, same thing. Now people are coming to me because I am the IMDb coach. That's a very specific niche that everybody needs help on. So people are looking for help on that. So I'm kind of fortunate in that area, but also just the business presence. I am always looking for new ways to promote my actors, new red carpets to get them on. I'm not a publicist, but I help with press and marketing, So always learning new things myself. What's so exciting is that we are like in the wild, wild west of the internet, right? Where there's new things popping up every day. So if you're not always learning something, then your career is stagnant, whether as an acting coach, as a coach or an actor or a producer or whatever. There's always more to learn. Always. And there will be, what I think is kind of a fascinating thing to think about is, I always wonder what the next big thing will be, right? Imagine if you could have, I don't know, if you could have bought Oprah.com 20 years ago, right? Or if you could have predicted how huge Instagram is now. And a lot of business is getting done, and a lot of people are getting cast because of it, So just seeing that ahead of time, there will be something next. Whatever that next thing is, you want to get in it early before everybody else gets into it, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Well,
and while you're researching, like red carpets, or helping to publicize or expose the clients that you're working with, do you along the way you are finding out about those new technologies or new avenues just by looking around the Facebook pages or reading Variety or getting your synopsis email in the mornings?
Yeah. I'm a bit of a I learn all the time on YouTube. For those of you who don't know, YouTube is the second biggest search engine on the planet. So I do think it's important for actors to be able to be found on YouTube, but also to use it as a resource for education, So I will, if I have a question about something, I will Google it, I will YouTube it, I will pursue the answer. I'm on 1 million newsletters, industry newsletters, so I get, in LA, I know not everybody's in LA, but in LA, you could seriously be on a red carpet every day. If you wanted to, you'd go crazy, of course, but you could do it. You could have a class every day, even a free class, because so many places will audit or have a free night. It's not like there's only 20 classes in LA, there's thousands.
There's more classes than Starbucks.
Yes. Ooh, there you go. That's an idea. Having a class at a Starbucks. But yeah, so it's not like, sometimes actors will get stuck with the same acting class for 3 years and they think that that's the only teacher that exists. And it's like, no, you're in LA. My God, there's thousands of teachers. Try to get a new technique. Try to learn. Try to be scared. In theory, you shouldn't be the best actor in your acting class. You should be the worst so you can grow, right? Imagine if you're the head honcho in every acting class that you take, but then you were allowed to go into an acting class that included Meryl Streep and Pacino and, all the greats. That's the kind of thing you want. You want to be the worst one so you can learn. It sounds very negative, but you get what I'm saying.
No, yeah, exactly. You want to surround yourself with people that are better than you so they can bring you up, so you can be in that community that's pushing forward, that's being more proactive, that's growing alongside their own growth.
Yes.
That's kind of how I because you do want to compare, but you can reflect that back at yourself and compare yourself to your previous self. That's how I like growing, and how I like advancing my own career, being as an artist or as a business person. How am I exposing myself a little bit better? How am I using social media to be more effective today than I did yesterday? I can't always use it at peak performance because every week's slightly different for a working actor in Hollywood. Our weeks are kind of unbalanced, uneven. We're always trying to slot things in, things fall through. It's a mess. But as long as every week you're trying to balance it, and you're trying to balance it just a little better than you did the previous week, then you're always tending towards a healthier place.
Yes. Yeah, so true. The balance thing is really quite an interesting challenge, isn't it? It's like, how do you really be completely proactive? I think you have to schedule life stuff. Otherwise, it doesn't happen. You have to schedule everything. Otherwise, it doesn't happen. So if maybe Sunday is your day off and you really have a real day off, that's the trick. That's the trick, is like a mental day off. right? Most humans now wake up and the first thing they do is they look at their phone. And that's a horrible way to start a day because our inboxes are everybody else's agenda, right? So if you study billionaires and super successful people, everybody will say that, like on every list, is that shouldn't be your first thing in the day. Your first thing should be taking care of your brain, your body, your health, your, drinking water, simple things. So you start the day off right and in the right mindset so you can get more done, So that's a total other tangent, but everybody should be studying money, studying the mind, because really at the end of the day, everything in your career is about mindset. It may look like it's about IMDb, or it may look like it's about social media or your audition or your acting class or your agent, but all of it comes down to mindset. And that's something that you have to actively pursue to get better and better and more healthy and to feel good about this whole adventure, this whole journey.
Thanks for listening to the Hollywood Actor Podcast. If you enjoy this content, don't forget to rate and review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you're listening.